the Trump rallies are starting to take on, in my opinion, the stench of the fascist rallies in Germany and the United States and Italy back in the 30s. Have you noticed that? The latest, according to Think Progress, Trump was where was he? I'll have that for you in a second. I think he was in Arizona? No, Richmond, Virginia, last night. And a person in the audience spit in the face of a person identified as an immigrant activist during the Trump rally last night. The incident occurred soon after immigrant activists briefly interrupted Trump just as he was launching into another anti-immigrant tirade about giving free stuff to illegal immigrants. And during his speech, according to Think Progress, in Virginia last night in Richmond, Trump made reference to the Democratic presidential debate that occurred on Tuesday when Clinton and Sanders discussed their positions on providing services to undocumented immigrants. And Trump, of course, being the fascist that he is, being the real threat to America that he is, Trump, there's no question about this guy any longer. But Trump said at his rally, they just couldn't give away things fast enough. They want health care for illegals. They want driver's licenses for illegal immigrants. They want, listen to this, Social Security for illegal immigrants. Now, of course, none of this is essentially true, but it doesn't make any difference. When you are following a fascist populist like Donald Trump or Adolf Hitler or Mussolini or Franco or whoever, when you're following Benito, you are following somebody who says stuff that is essentially not true in order to get your blood riled up and your blood pressure up so you'll pick up a club and go beat somebody over the head, which is what Trump is trying to drive these people toward. The progressive activists began protesting when Trump said all this, but then the Trump supporters drowned them out. A local CBS reporter named Garrett Hake recorded an encounter in which a blue-shirted Trump supporter repeatedly shouted "F you" to the activists and spit in the face of one man before walking away. You remember Trump was back in June when he launched his campaign by suggesting that Mexican immigrants are rapists and criminals and drug dealers. But anyway, according to Think Progress, incidents like this at Trump rallies are becoming routine. In fact, his supporters have spit on and threatened immigrant activists in the past. This is how it starts. This is how a fascist candidate like Donald Trump, this is how the campaign gets off, or takes off, gets legs, whatever you want to call it. Trump, to me, Trump is no longer a clown. He is an absolute threat to the country. He really is. And I have a feeling that he is going to generate the kind of reaction that George Lincoln Rockwell generated, or that what's his name, Alabama Governor Wallace, what he generated. And you know the results when you generate that kind of uncontrollable fury in your followers. And it's kind of like Trump is giving them permission to be as vile and violent as they want to be. Trump is like any fascist orator. He really says nothing. I don't think, in listening to the old films of Hitler speeches or Mussolini speeches. Now, granted, I had to listen to translations since I speak neither German nor Italian, but there were never any promises made or statements made about what would be the benefit in voting for a Hitler or a Mussolini, other than it would stop them, the ones who were destroying Germany or Italy or wherever. There were never any, and I'm not saying that it didn't come up in these rallies in Rome and Nuremberg and Madrid and Chicago and San Francisco. I'm not saying there wasn't some substance of some sort, but everything I've heard has just been rabble-rousing, which is exactly what Trump is doing. Exactly. It's as though somebody put together for him a fascist playbook, not based in fascist political or economic theory, and there is such a thing, but in the fascist rabble-rousing. You know, you stir people up, you get their rage going. They don't know what they're angry at, but they're angry, like most people in America are right now. Angry, like pissed off. Drive down a city street where there's a lot of traffic. Drive on the expressway. You know what I'm talking about. So that undifferentiated, that unfocused anger, in some cases rage, is out there. You don't have to be a genius to come along and focus that rage on, in Trump's case, immigrants. As though immigration were this country's main or even in the top 5 list of real serious problems that have to be dealt with now. Immigration is not one of them. So anyway, Trump is inching his way, and in some cases not inching, but galloping toward the status of a full-blown fascist orator. And again, I just I strongly suggest, forget Hitler. Hitler was unique in his insanity. But go online and look at some of the old films of Mussolini rousing up the crowds in Italy.